Now, if we say something horrible, I'll just stop it.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Because I think what we talk about is kind of fun.
I agree. I mean, I feel like an intellectual.
Yeah. So hi, Kayla. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kayla Abrahamian. I am a teacher, and I'm teaching online during this time and just trying to figure out life just like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Laura Lynn. I'm a pastor. I also work with cultural intelligence in different settings. And Kayla and I practiced social distancing this morning.
Yes, we
But
did.
I had a fabulous conversation that I wish all of you could be a fly on the wall. So I said, hey, let's record this conversation. So we're going to revisit a couple of things. So Kayla, you are a school teacher and you are experiencing teaching online. How is that different from teaching in person?
It is, I mean, as different as it could be. It's really sad. It bums me out going and seeing them on the computer because I just wish that I could be with them in person. I know that's not an option, but I am thankful for technology in these moments because I have the ability to connect with them. And we have office hours twice a day, and in the morning we do a check-in, and in the afternoon we all draw together. I teach first grade. I don't teach high school or anything crazy like that. And we draw together and they send me their drawings. So we're staying connected. It's just really, I was just having a meeting with my coworkers. We were not together. And we were just saying that this is hard for them to learn social skills and things that you would be learning without even realizing that you're learning when you're in class. So it's very different. I feel useless because a lot of things are out of my hands, and I just have to come to terms with that and accept it, that I don't have as much control of things as I normally would in a classroom.
Yeah. So are there cultural differences? I mean, you're teaching kids of all different ethnic backgrounds, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so now you're in their home. So are you
Yes.
seeing things that are like culturally different, like a Hispanic family versus an Asian
Absolutely.
family? What are those differences?
I'm seeing maybe different parenting styles. I'm seeing maybe like I see some of the parents who are on Zoom with the students every time, and they are going to be with them and they're watching everything they're doing. And then there are times where I don't even see the parents and the kids log on themselves. I'm seeing a lot of different parenting styles, a lot of different dynamics at the house. I don't know if parents really realize that we can see them in their bathrobes if they are in view of the camera. My coworkers and I were just laughing. Like, we now are in their homes, and and they're in my home too. And so I am trying to understand cultural differences and cater and differentiate to those while also trying to maintain consistency in the classroom.
Yeah.
In the classroom.
Yeah, because I would think so. You've got so some of the cultures, that are just very, I call it communal. You're together, your family, the grandparents are in the home, that you're sitting in each other's laps. It's just a lot of our Latina, communities are that way, Latin communities, and then you have like my mother-in-law, German community, very stoic, very individualistic, and so I could have probably been one of those parents and be like, nope, you log on, you're on your own, get it done,
Absolutely. And there are some families where parents are still working, or parents need that help. Parents and grandparents are coming in, and grandparents are emailing me, and grandparents are texting me through our school app. And I think that's great. I'm like, as many people as possible join, because this life already takes a village, and this is going to take a village and a half to get through distance learning.
They didn't sign up for homeschooling.
No, and I also did not sign up for homeschooling. This is so boring.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you trying to do? You said you're trying to do like drawings how can you make it creative? Have you found ways?
Yeah. So the kids and I'll get on my computer and I'll share my screen, and I'll be doing a drawing, and I'll direct it so they can draw with me. And it's really fun because, that's more laid back. It doesn't really require like focus. And so the kids are able to communicate, and they're like, you're really distracting me right now. I need you to please be quiet. And so we're still able to have that classroom environment.
Yeah.
And that is so fun. And then I have their parents send me the drawings. I'm making little collages. So that's been super fun.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's change subjects a little bit here.
Yeah.
Because yes, you are the extraordinary teacher. I love hearing about your classroom and the things that you do. But we're also humans, you know, we're more than just our career. And this morning we started talking a little bit about, you know, a lot of people will say you got to change your perspective on things. Like, okay, so instead of, oh man, you know, we're going through this horrible virus that we're all talking about, and we're wondering, should we still be talking about it? How do we move on to this normalcy? And so do we change our perspective? But then there's also the realness that we need to grieve.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that? How do we grieve and change our perspective during this time?
I have not figured out the balance. And when I do, I will sell the secret formula for $1 million.
Yeah.
But I think I'm still very much in the grieving process. I am, I'm grieving my job. I'm one of the lucky few that still has a job, but I am grieving the normalcy of the job. Yeah. I am grieving what life used to be like in my home. I'm grieving seeing my friends, seeing my coworkers, going out, just the silly things, going out to tacos on a Friday after work. That's what I am grieving. And I don't really know when that's going to end. And I don't know if it will end, if I'm going to wake up one day and go, I have completed my grieving. I really don't know if that's going to happen. But I'm also trying to keep in perspective, this is not forever. This will not be forever. And I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, whether I can't see that light or not. So I'm trying to hold on to hope of what it's going to look like in the future. That's just what I'm clinging to right now. Yeah.
So you talked on our walk. I loved it. There's 3 things that I kind of like came out of our time this morning. Yeah. The whole idea of reframing, regrouping, and rewriting our story. So you talked about the electric toy car. Share a little bit about that.
Yes. So I'm very open. I attend Safe Harbor Counseling Center.
Praise the Lord for that. For all of us.
Yes. Amen. For everyone here. My phone's going to die. Sorry, everyone. You get to look up the double chin for a second. Okay. So we all, every single one of us can struggle with fear and anxiety and depression. And those things are so real, and especially in times like these. And so I know for myself, I have a very, very overactive mind. My mind loves to be working at all times. And an idle time is the opposite of helpful. And so my therapist at Safe Harbor, she said, when you're in one of those spirals, it's like there is an electric toy car that is bumping into the wall, and it's just there. It just got stuck, and you're trying to figure it out with the remote, and you can't. That's where our minds go in fear and in these times of maybe bleakness. She said, you have to actually stand up and go move the car. And she said, you need to have a distraction. And that doesn't mean that you are taking away from the problem. It means you're going to come back later and revisit what you were feeling when you're more rational, when you're not sitting in your fear and in your emotion. So I think it's really important to figure out, what does it mean to move my car? What does that mean? Does that mean that I go watch a funny YouTube video? Do I go take my pet on a walk? Do I start reading a book? Do I reach out to a friend? What does that look like?
Yeah. That is so good. That is really good. So
I know, that was life-changing.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, that's part of, you're reframing it, you're regrouping. Okay. Now how am I going to rewrite this story?
Absolutely.
And I love that. And I think that's for all of us, no matter what it is that we're feeling anxiety about. So today I got some yucky news. There is people who are dying of COVID-19, and it's in our valley. And so that just is awful. It's awful to me, and it feels real. It feels personal. It's like, what the heck? And I found myself getting super, super anxious after having a lovely morning, with friends. And so the first thing I went to was a bowl of Cheerios.
Great.
Not a good tool.
not every time.
Not unless I want the COVID-19, right? And so I then went back to, okay, Laurelyn, you know what to do. You know what to do. So I started journaling. I started journaling our conversation, the whole idea of, okay, reframing, regrouping, rewriting. And so, how can I reframe this? One, I need to grieve. Like, I was terribly sad for a woman's husband who passed away, and that, she wasn't there necessarily, towards the end. And I don't know if she got to go in right at the end, but earlier in that day, she hadn't been there. And so I was sad. I was sad for the hospital workers that are having to deal with all of this and work through all of this. I was sad, for so many layers, sad for our valley, that this is happening in our valley and to their children, and, so many levels. So I just said, okay, I got to grieve this. And I was teary. I was sad. I actually reached out to the staff on our chat that we have and just said, hey, I'm sad. And talked to my kids a little bit, went down and touched all of them, hey guys, I love you. And I'm kind of sad. And each kid had a different thing, for me and my husband. And so that was my regrouping. Okay, I'm going to regroup.
Yeah.
And then part of it is in the rewriting of the story, that story is still very painful, but I'm not going to let it cripple me and cripple my day. And so I'm going to grieve. I'm going to take the time I need for my own emotional health, which I did. And then it's okay. Who can I pour into? Because I truly believe you grow spiritually when you're serving, others, when you're caring for others, caring for yourself too.
Absolutely.
Any kind of whatever can become dysfunctional, but I know that I grow when I'm serving others, take care of myself emotionally and serve others. So I just thought that was wild after this great morning that we'd had. And
of course, you can
matter. Like we talk about, like, our different ages, like it doesn't matter where you're at in life. Like we still have these same things. So praise God, you've got Safe Harbor working you through stuff now as a 20-something. That we can continue to revisit these tools that are so important in our lives every day. Especially now. This is a tragedy that our world is going through right now.
It truly is. It's a trauma that we're all experiencing. And that's not to minimize any trauma that anyone has experienced. This is just something that Safe Harbor posted something where trauma is described as too much, too fast. And that's what this is. That's what this is.
So good. Yeah. Too much, too fast.
Yeah. And we're all in that right now.
We are all in that. Yeah. And we're all trying to figure it out. What does that look like? How do we respond? What does my day look like?
Yeah.
What's safe? What's not safe? I don't know if you've thought that, but I'm like, what's safe? What's not safe? Like today I heard that we're all to be wearing, some kind of covering of some sort.
I know. I heard that too. And then I brought in the mail and I'm like, oh, is that a bad thing? I heard some people think it's a bad thing. And so it's just, it's hard.
It can be overwhelming. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we know people still need to work, and, places like CMOH need volunteers. So it's just wrestling with all of it, and, asking God to give you peace and wisdom and direction.
Yeah. In this balance of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're still working. I'm still working. We're trying to serve and care and survive and love and all that.
All of those things.
All those stuff. Thank you for taking time today.
Of course. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, you're a rock star in my life, as well as so many young professionals in this valley who I just admire immensely. Say hello to your whole family. Your sister is home. That's kind of a good perspective, a good thing to look at.
Oh yeah. Like I know she's not stoked, and obviously we want her to be
Yeah.
at school having a fun time. But like, I'm like, party! My sister's home.
Exactly. I know. I'm the same way. Like, of course I want my kids to be like out and doing their things, right? But gosh, it's really awesome to have them all here.
Yes. Say hi to your girls and your people and everyone.
I will. You too. And that cute little dog of yours. Where is he?
She is very distracting, so she's not allowed in when mom does Zoom.
Oh, okay. God. Have your students seen her yet?
Yes, and they lost it. They were so excited.
That's awesome.
So we might have to do a bring your pet to school day.
Oh, that is creative. That's fabulous.
I know, isn't it? I'll let you know
how that goes.
Start thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, it was good seeing you, friend.
You too. All right. Bye.
Bye.